Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your reading for the month ahead, the month of June. What is the energy right now, and what can you expect? This is also for people who are creeping on a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and you want to know what's on the down low. Okay, so for your guys' reading, I already had some of the cards jump out while I was shuffling. So we're going to use those because they definitely feel aligned for you, Scorpio. And I am asking for the messages to come out that are in accordance with your highest and best good. Okay. And I am using the Angel Wisdom Tarot for this reading. So, okay. Let's start off with these cards. So there is a lot of energy that is happening for you, Scorpio. Starting off with the Five of Pentacles. So this one just jumped out too. We've got the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Wands. There's a lot of energy around you, and that has to do with other people as well. Part of it is also your own interpretation. We've got the Tower card, the Hermit, and the Strength card. But we're going to start with these because I feel like this is the energy that you are in or you're just moving out of. For the Five of Pentacles, Scorpio, the negative thoughts manifesting into real challenges, fears surrounding money, reach out to others for assistance, poor timing for becoming self-employed. So this card is often seen as like the poverty card or having that poverty mindset. In the traditional deck, it is represented by the people outside of the church in a snowstorm, and they're sort of missing the opportunity to go into the church and seek refuge, and instead they're still just kind of like trying to make it work outside. So the message here is often to let down your guard a little bit, which I know can be a little bit difficult for Scorpio to do, and accept some help from others, because others might not even know that you need help, because you might have your walls up so high that people don't even know that something's going on. You know, it's okay to let people in as long as they're like good people, the people who are actually in your corner. In this one, it depicts a cat, which can also represent spiritual protection, as well as an angel with the hands over her head. And still sort of like this church imagery as well. So yeah, and being mindful of being self-employed or starting a new venture right now, because if you're having these feelings of lack, that is not conducive of, you know, a successful business, right? You need to have that prosperity mindset coming in order to attract that energy into your life. So it could be that this had been affecting you, and now with the Six of Swords, this card indicates going away from. So it's the end of challenging times. Things are looking up. A welcome relief, finding your way to a peaceful place, the end of depression or an illness, travel or relocation, okay? Especially with us coming out of winter, going into spring and summer, you know, a lot of people are moving out of a depressive energy into a more energetic and exciting time where things are happening. You know, the gray skies are going away and we're moving into the light skies. You know, there's the Six Swords that you've had to sort of battle your way through, and now you're, you know, they're swimming away on this boat. There's the water energy coming through too, even though this is the swords, which has to do with the mind. Scorpio, you're a water sign, right? So there's a lot of emotions that had to do too, and you had to cut away something to move on. And it can be very hard sometimes to let go of these emotions, especially for Scorpio, because it's a fixed water sign. So giving yourself time to process everything, and maybe getting out and getting to some water can also really help you. Getting to a pool, hot tub, a natural body of water, those can be very beneficial in the month of June to help you release this energy that you were in before that had you feeling kind of stuck. And now there's this new momentum that's gaining. We've got the Seven of Wands, okay? So this, stand up for yourself and your beliefs. Have confidence, challenge those in power, but also choose your battles wisely, okay? Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. Mars is the planet of war, right? So With Scorpio, when it comes to the Mars energy, it's the strategizing. It's not always like the Aries version of Mars, where it's, charging in head first with the spear in hand. Scorpio is much more strategic than that. Scorpio is going to usually wait and watch, plan, and then the stinger is going to come out at the opportune moment, right? It's not just going to come out of nowhere. And usually after a lot of prodding as well. Well, maybe not that much, but don't hate me for saying that. But yeah, standing up for yourself and your beliefs and choosing your battles wisely. If everything is a battle, then you're never going to be happy, right? You have to determine which battles are actually worth your time. Because if you're getting frustrated or caught up on the little things or with people that don't really matter, and it looks like the Seven of Swords represents, or Seven of Wands rather, like 7 different people coming at you with different things. And not all of these people are even worth acknowledging or responding to. So using your own discernment and your spiritual connection with the water element to know which battles are worth it or not. And with the fire, like Scorpio is a water sign. The opposite of water is fire. And Scorpio can sometimes even be depicted online as like water that's on fire. Because Scorpio's intense and there's depths to it as well. It's not just like a pool of water. It's that deep, dark water at the bottom of the ocean that has creatures living in there that people don't even know that exist. Okay, that's Scorpio. It's mysterious. You might think that you know what's under there, but you don't. Okay, and they like it that way. So still staying confident though, and like with the opposite of that being fire, it's the opposite, right? It's the passion. It's the movement, the ability to burn things down. Like Scorpio is going to drown things in the depths sometimes. But that level of depth also offers the transmutation to change things with the pressure that other people aren't necessarily going to have the capacity to understand. That's where your strength really lies. And you've got a lot of major cards, actually. So I feel like, well, especially as Scorpio, you guys are always in the constant cycle of like this transformation and birth, death and rebirth, right? So having a lot of major cards makes sense because that's just the nature of the Scorpio energy. We've got Awakening, which is this deck's representation of the Hanged Man. A temporary pause for reflection and insight. An awakening where you see things in a whole new light. Embrace your own uniqueness and have some charitable actions. Okay, so it can feel good to give back to others. The Hanged Man offers us an opportunity for a new perspective, right? This guy's hanging out upside down on the tree, but like he's chilling, he's having a good time. There's things falling out of his purse or whatever's going on there, but he doesn't seem to mind, and it offers us a new perspective. What's falling out of the purse is actually tarot cards, a key, and a feather. And those represent, the different phases of life, as well as an opportunity for a new door, right? That you might not have seen without taking this time to pause and having a new perspective coming in. It's a necessary pause, even though it can kind of feel like you're just sort of hanging out in limbo and you don't really know what's going to happen next. But at least it's not a pause that's like detrimental. Sometimes things are in a divine pause too because they're not meant to happen yet, or like we might think that they're supposed to happen but there's a bigger plan, and having this shift in perspective can let you become more open to that plan. We have the 9 of Wands, fire energy. Protect what you have created. Be prepared. Never give up. Ask your angels for help. Environmental activism and animal rights. Okay, so we're really feeling this kind of like battle energy with you guys, Scorpio. It could feel like there's a lot of fighting that needs to happen, or that you really need to stand up for yourself and protect things. And maybe it's also a cautious to like not necessarily be too much in battle mode all the time, right? Like not everybody is coming in to try and like harm you. And sometimes it can be difficult to not perceive things that way, especially for the Scorpio. Like you guys have a hard outer shell and it can be difficult to let people in. And when you do let people in, you want to know that they're the right ones, right? And that there is this need to protect what you've created because you've worked really hard for it. Like Scorpio is a sign too that gets put through a lot of tests and a lot of tribulations. So what you have, you had to work for. And it's understandable that you would feel this protectiveness over what you've built. There could also be a call here to look into the security of your home. Adding security cameras or a security system could be beneficial to your state of mind. Even protecting your assets in some other kind of way too. Maybe checking your insurance policy that's coming through for some of you and making sure that it covers things that actually are important, because Scorpio also rules the 8th house. The 8th house rules other people's finances, not your own finances. So making sure that your insurance is in place effectively so that if something does happen, the other person is going to have to pay for it, right? That's what the insurance, or their other person's insurance will have to pay for it, which will keep you protected, right? So making sure to check in on that. Could be some other kind of legality that could work in your favor, as long as you're making sure that you are properly protecting yourself against any of these sort of things that could happen. Especially as a Scorpio, there are more 8th house experiences that can come your way that are more mysterious, a little bit like taboo, and it's just good to like stay frosty, which I'm sure you guys already know. Okay, so we've got the eight of Wands. There's a lot of fire energy here, 7, 8, and 9 too. So we've got a sequence, a building up of fire energy. There's too much going on, stress caused by many positive opportunities, unexpected events or rapid changes, the ability to multitask, and business travel. So there's a lot going on. There's fireworks. It's exciting. You're building towards something, but still there's this need to have this like slower perspective, and remembering too that not everything that comes your way is necessarily what you need. Just because there's this opportunity to do something, or like this call to go do something or be somewhere, it's important to sit with yourself first and decide if that's actually what you want and what you need. Even if a lot of them seem like they're all positive and good opportunities, there will still be a couple that are maybe a little bit more aligned than the others. And it's up to you to use your discernment in this month to figure out what's actually the best for you here, Scorpio. We've got the Strength card, okay? Scorpios, you guys are strong-willed. You're a fixed sign. That means you can be stubborn, and it can take you time to change your opinion on things, but that gives you a lot of strength, too. Your ability to hold on to things is a strength. Personal power and assertiveness portrayed with kindness. Compassion that brings about forgiveness, and realizing that you're stronger than you know. The Strength card is often depicted too as like a lion tamer, where we've got the lion that's sort of roaring, and we have the feminine who is, gently taming the lion, but not aggressively. She's very calm in how she does it. So there's like a quiet strength here, a confidence too of that inner knowing of your own capacity for this strength to tame the beast and the lion, even if that beast is sometimes yourself, right? Compassion that brings about forgiveness, and having self-compassion and compassion for others can go a long way too. Forgiveness can be a really difficult one for Scorpio energy. I know I have a lot of Scorpio placements as well, so it can be, there's this tendency to hold on so tightly, especially to things that have hurt, because you want to protect yourself from that happening again. But forgiving yourself for even getting into that situation in the first place is a first step in having that release. And there's something beautiful about having that release of tension, not always holding on all the time, because it can create that excessive stress in the body that is ultimately not healthy. Transformation. Okay, that's a nice word for the Tower card in this version of the deck, but the Tower card, I always associate the Tower card with Scorpio energy, because it's like the death and rebirth, the phoenix energy. You cannot have a new beginning without the death of the old one. And with Scorpio being such an intense sign, the way that you guys have a death and rebirth is a very intense experience. It's not always a gentle death and rebirth. A lot of the times it can feel like a complete upheaval of everything in your life. Everything that you thought you knew is shifting, collapsing in this tower. It's on fire, and you have to start over again. In this one, the tower is not on fire. It's under construction. Okay, so it's a much more gentle representation of the card. But I feel like most of us have seen the original depiction of the Tower card. And when you think about the time when the tarot came about, people who were living up in the tower were like the rich people, the elite upper class And when they got stormed and the tower got burned down, that was a literal collapse of that way of society's functioning. You know, okay, maybe it's not that drastic for what you might be moving through, but with Scorpio, there's these constant rebuilding, tearing it down, rebuilding, tearing it down. And maybe this doesn't even frighten you because you have to do it so frequently and so often that you're like, okay, yeah, another tower moment. Great. I have another opportunity to reinvent myself and to become this next version of myself, and no one's even going to be able to see what's coming because you're just so comfortable at doing it and rebuilding. It's like, you know, it's coming after a certain point too, because this energy is so much a part of the Scorpio vibe. You know, the more you fight it, the more intense the towers are going to be too. The more you embrace it, the easier it becomes, because once you accept that that's a part of the energy and the cycles that you came to learn in this lifetime, it makes it a lot easier to move through each transition. A significant life experience that requires changes to be made, powerful and often unexpected revelations, breaking free of procrastination, releasing old belief systems. Okay, I'm really feeling this for you guys. And last but certainly not least, the Hermit. I feel like this is also a very fitting card for the Scorpio energy because Scorpio often really likes to be alone. This is time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude. Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor and self-discovery. The Hermit takes time away so that you can learn and, you know, shine in this light through the dark to help light the way for others too. It's not always just about staying alone though. Once you've learned what you need to learn, you got to come back out and share it with people. And then, you know, you can go back in again and retreat into the cave. But the Hermit is very, very important time too. So definitely in the month of June, you might be feeling called to just spend some time alone, reading some books, doing your thing, going to the water, and not talking to too many people. But that's okay. When you do come out, you know, sharing those insights with some select trusted people can be very beneficial for you as well. And you can also seek out some sort of spiritual advisor too to help guide you in the processing of these emotions and the big changes that you're going through, because Scorpio as a water sign does have a lot of deep emotions but doesn't always like to show it. So having that alone time gives you the space to really process things in a way that feels safe and not too vulnerable. Okay, you guys, that was a little bit of a longer message, but that's what needed to come out for Scorpio. So I'm going to add on a little bit of these spellcasting oracle just to give a little confirmation here. Scorpio in the month of June. What is the spellcasting card to add on to this? Ooh, courage. Okay, feeling that Lion and Leo energy, especially because you also got the Strength card. So there could be Leo in your chart. There could also be a significant Leo person around you. Having the courage to be vulnerable too and let yourself be seen, let your light shine. You have so much beauty to share with people too, even if it's sometimes a little bit different. That's good. The world needs different sometimes. If everybody was the same, life would be so boring. Okay, we're going to go into the gateway of light activation. And this one I would like to read to you from the book just to get a little bit deeper. Ooh, the Sirius Star Blessings. Yes, proceed, be seen, and push through. Wow. Okay, that could not be more on point with everything that was just coming through. I'm going to read this one. Sirius. Here we go. Sirius Star Blessings. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky and was of the utmost importance to the ancient Egyptians. In fact, our current new year was celebrated as the coming of Sopdet, the goddess queen of Sirius. As during the last week of December, Sirius can be found high in the sky between midnight and dawn. The Sirius star system is the home of a race of humanoid beings who most likely live in a dimension higher than our own. It is believed that these beings can be contacted through spiritual practice. Tuning into them can enable us to receive high-frequency spiritual downloads. This card draws the bright light of Sirius and the support of Sirian star beings into our world. When it comes to us, it helps us find light in moments of darkness and uncertainty, and to continue to shine on. Oh, and to continue on, sorry. If you feel strongly connected to Sirius and its star beings, it's likely that you are connected to them on a spiritual level. And if you take time to locate the star in the sky, you might even have a sense of coming home. Find an image of Sirius online or look for the star in the sky. Imagine a great beam of light coming down from it, washing over your being. Know that the electric blue frequency will be supporting you as you move forward. The message that comes with this gateway is a giant yes. It brings the energy of wishing on a star and seeing that wish come true. This is a time for you to move forward with any projects or ideas that you have felt called to carry out. There is an energy of positivity, abundance, and excitement surrounding you at this time. Whatever dreams you've been revisiting recently aren't dreams, but premonitions. Know that whatever you're connecting with on the inside is soon to be something you'll be experiencing in the physical. So think about what you desire instead of what you fear. See yourself celebrating as if your wildest dreams have come true. As you do so, you'll be creating the perfect energy for them to manifest in your world. Wow. Okay, Scorpio. We had to get deep with that one, and I am going to close off this reading with a positive affirmation. Let's get it. When I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Wow. Okay. I'm loving that message that came through for you guys, Scorpio. This has been a general reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month ahead. If you would like a more personalized, in-depth reading, feel free to send me an email. My information will be in the comments below. Let me know if this resonated for you. And as always, thank you so much for enjoying this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.